Gayle Rubin, a feminist anthropologist, has made significant contributions to the study of gender, encompassing anthropological theory, lesbian literature, sadomasochism, and feminism. In her essay, The Traffic in Women, she introduced the concept of the sex gender system, describing how society shapes biological sexuality into social constructs. Rubin argued that gender identity, fantasies, and notions of childhood are all socially constructed. In her work Thinking Sex, Notes on a Radical Theory of the Politics of Sexuality, Rubin distinguished between gender and sexuality, noting feminism's focus on gender oppression. She emphasized the need for a broader theory of sexual oppression, highlighting examples such as the persecution of lesbians based on both their gender and sexual orientation. Rubin argued that sexuality, like gender, is inherently political and that societal changes such as industrialization and urbanization have facilitated the formation of new sexual identities and communities such as gays, transsexuals, and transvestites in cities like New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. The emergence of erotic communities triggered periods of sexual panic and repression in the 1880s, 1950s, and 1980s, driven by right-wing groups. These groups employed both psychological tactics, warning of the harms of illicit sex like blindness or stunted growth, and institutionalized measures such as the 1885 Act banning indecent acts between consenting adults. Similarly, the proposed but unpassed Family Protection Act of 1979 aimed to broadly target feminism, homosexuals, and non-traditional families. In the early 20th century, new erotic communities formed, coinciding with the availability of mass-produced erotica and the expansion of sexual commerce. By the 1970s, significant sexual migrations had occurred, impacting political landscapes. Despite facing legal persecution and societal stigma as dangerous and inferior, these communities, particularly gays, developed solidarity, literature, and engaged in collective political activism, establishing social and political identities. Rubin stresses the importance of a radical theory of sex that addresses and condemns erotic injustice and oppression. She identifies obstacles to forming such a theory, including sexual essentialism, the belief that sexuality is inherently natural and unchanging, sexual negativity portraying it as harmful, and the notion of sexual hierarchy that deems certain acts as contemptible. Rubin calls on progressives to reconsider these fundamental issues of sexuality and